जहाँ कोई नहीं जाता हम जाते हैं.
12,000 hours of experience. Any unforgettable moment in the cockpit?
We fly against nature. At 35,000 feet, there is nobody else you're watching except for the nature, and nature can be brutal. By the time we reach, the cyclone hit the area. Something has to go wrong. It will go wrong because everything was going against me. There comes a caution, tongue, something like that, and we were turning, we were still climbing, and then another tongue comes, caution message says, my anxiety is building because no, this is real, this is not simulator. Flying teaches me more than professionalism. Actually, it's more of the life.
Hello everyone, welcome to Golden Applets Aviation Podcast. I am Captain Deval Soni, a TEDx speaker and a co-founder of Golden Applets Aviation, and fortunate enough to train 4,000 plus pilots so far in last 17 years. And today I'm thrilled to welcome a captain who is a General Secretary of ALPA, Airline Pilot Association, and a 32 plus years of flying experience, 10 years of training and mentoring experience, and have flown multiple aircrafts like Boeing 777, Boeing 737, 320 and 310 as well. And he have 12,000 plus hours of experience as a trainer, and he is a senior designated examiner, and he have flown one of the longest flight, more than 18 hours. So let's welcome Captain Anil Rao. Welcome on board, Captain.
Thank you so much, Captain Deval. It's my pleasure to be on podcast with you and sharing my thoughts. Well, I never thought I'd spent so much considerable time in aviation for so many years. Well, that's how it is. But nice to having me on your podcast, and I'm very happy to share my thoughts with you. And well, thank you so much.
Thank you, Captain. And thanks for your presence. And so, Captain, I would like to ask you multiple questions. Let's start from your early journey. Captain, how was Captain Anil Rao used to look like when he was young? How was his journey?
Well, I'll have to give some credit to my father, having born to a pilot myself. I've always seen him in the shiny uniform of the Air Force, and the flamboyant, the presence of his in around his colleagues, flying airplanes, and doing this high adrenaline job, which was like you would always talk of. Your dad is a pilot. Of course, that is when it set in me that I want to be a flyer. But when I started growing up, it was just not that attention which I was seeking, but I was wanted to really fly, because that is the only thing I thought I can give my 100%. Though I tried many other education, many other courses, engineering and stuff like that, but really didn't entice me. It didn't interest me so much. So then I picked it up, and I I decided that I would have to give my whole, though my family was not fully happy about me coming into flying. But then I did it, and I'm here today talking to you.
So, Captain, why the family was reluctant initially?
See, we come from those orthodox family where the education system has to lead to some kind of a guarantee of earning money. And back in my house, it was more to do with what is the present education system. And that time it was engineering and doctor. And everybody after school would have to go and write this entrance exam and choose either an engineering or MBBS to become one, because if you're not in that rat race, then you're not doing well. So but I didn't take that. In fact, my family, all many people, I mean, all my cousins and my sisters are engineers. So that's but I tried, though, try to become an engineer, try to do other courses, but really didn't interest me. And of course, flying was not a try thing, because I knew from the beginning that I will do. In fact, a lot of my school friends now ask me, I mean, are very proud of me, when because we used to have this kind of a book, when we were passing out from the school, what do you want to become, your aim? I used to write pilot, and they said, you're the only person who actually stuck to
Yeah.
what he said in that. So I said, yeah, but that was my journey, and that's when I thought I will take it as a serious career option. Not actually career option; it's my passion. So I took it as the only way of becoming a pilot. So
Great. Captain, how is this profession unique?
very few professions which are dynamic in nature. This is a continuously evolving, and technology wise or professional wise, what happens in flying is you are always compelled to change yourself according to the technology. And we pilots are the only ones who do this every 6 months, giving our proficiency checks to prove our presence in this continuously dynamically changing technology. And if you don't, you find yourself left behind. So this is a very challenging profession in its own way, and change is inevitable in this.
True.
So
So here I would like to tell all the aspiring pilots, like every pilot, once they join an airline, they have to undergo a simulator check almost every 5.5 or 6 months regularly. And this is one of the, to keep yourself current and proficient enough. Captain, how does this profession have changed you personally?
So flying is just not about profession or professional attributes. It teaches you a lot of humanity. As a human being, we are not trained. Not I will not say trained. We are not born flyers like birds. We defy gravity every day to fly, and we fly against the nature. Nature has never allowed us to do what we're doing. So we are doing everything which is against the nature. So what I have learned is to respect nature. And nature can be brutal. It's not as forgiving as we always expect it to be. That is when we see Mother Nature, Mother Earth, as how vast they are in, and what small entities we are in this universe. It not only teaches respect to nature, it also teaches to be humble, have respect for diversity. You're flying with different kind of crew members, you're flying with different people from different portions of the globe. So there we this is exactly what flying teaches me. More than professionalism, actually, it's more of the life, which is connecting. Basically, that is what is more like a spiritual way of understanding what the nature is. At 35,000 feet, there is nobody else you're watching except for the nature, and that's the greatest part I have instilled over the period of time. So respect.
Absolutely. In fact, this profession had taught me, in fact, like, let's be responsible now.
Exactly.
Extremely responsible, with a lot of passengers behind you, and they will be meeting their loved ones. So I think when we were flying, we always treat every passengers as our own family members. So it's very important. And then I personally have learned a lot of discipline.
Of course, discipline is one very good thing which we have learned in flying. If you're not disciplined, then there is no safety. So you have to be disciplined, and over discipline, what I have learned is very good in my personal life, which I practice on a daily basis, is organizing. How to organize your life, how to organize your things, and how to do resource management. So that is one part which we learn as part of being pilots, and that is what we take home. And flying is just about flying. You learn so many things which you actually practice in your daily lives, and which makes your life much easier in daily aspects. So that is what I have. I would give the credit to my flying profession. That's a lot of things which I learned, which I wouldn't have learned otherwise.
Correct. And I would say, Captain, I think mental resilience is also something which I have learned in this profession, a faster maybe in this profession, because every year you have to go medical checks, every 6 months you have to go simulator checks, and some, every year you have to go under annual checks, and a lot more, in fact. So I think I think over the years, we are, mentally strong enough in this profession,
Of course, we are the only professionals who are tested, checked so often that I don't think any other professional in this world has gone through so many checks. So that what is you're talking about resilience is what makes it resilient base.
And another thing, I think leadership is also something, I think, which we have an opportunity to learn leadership also. I mean, at a faster rate. You meet different people, you have to, every day it's a different team. Then you have to align with your team. You have to operate a flight safely, starting from a dispatcher, from engineers, then from a cabin crew, the first officer or a captain, and then, the entire flight. So I think that is also one thing which everybody gets an opportunity to learn.
Yeah, I would like to add on to what you were saying is pilot learns from the day one how to be a leader.
Correct.
Because that is what his training is all about till the end of his career. So it comes as part of his training to lead. And that is what his training about. It is not that first he's a follower and then becomes a leader. Or first he's like any other job where you start from a bottom, a cadre, and then you become a leader.
Right.
Here you start as a leader, you train as a leader.
Yes.
So that's which I consider is very unique.
Absolutely.
In our profession. Yeah. And I'm kind of very proud of it.
Yeah. And another thing, Captain, I think now after getting into this profession, I think I'm more safety concerned, CRM concerned. Before that, I was not very concerned, but now I checked, do I have a fire extinguisher at my home? Do I have a fire extinguisher at my, office? Are we, checking other things also around what's happening around us? If there's something unsafe, we report to the concerned authority. I think these are also things like culture, which I think I've learned in this profession as well.
I would, agree with you on that, because recently I checked my car, fire extinguisher is not there. I ordered a fire extinguisher for my car from Amazon. I ordered one in the house. I never used to wear seat belts when I was sitting behind, because we would do it as a regulatory compliance, but not as something which is safe for you. So now I started understanding that it's actually for my safety. Having to wear a seat belt is for my safety and not by anybody else. All this while, which we have been doing like normal human beings, is to show somebody as a compliance. But now I wear, and if there is no seatbelt behind, I don't travel now, because life is more important than time. So, which I have over the period of time inculcated in my daily practices, and that's what it has taught me.
And another thing is because we have to go medical test mandatorily, we really have to keep ourselves fit. So I think this profession had taught us, irrespective of your flying hours, your irregular roster patterns, you have to.
There is no choice.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, we have never been given a choice. And I would also like to tell you that keeps you on toes.
Absolutely.
So I would probably, if I was not a flyer, I would probably be 100 kilos now and sitting in a shop and counting money. Yeah. But that has given me a kind of I would say, an inspiration for my next medical.
Yeah,
And what your inspiration next
true,
medical is to fly.
true.
So these are the things which come together,
Absolutely.
and you are. I don't know what will happen when I retire, but I can see you're doing very well.
Yes. And in fact, Captain, a lot of aspiring pilots, they comes to us and ask us, what are the benefits of becoming a pilot? And I tell them personally, that's one of the bestest advantage is you have to remain fit.
That is one
You
thing.
you get your medicals, and then you get to know what's wrong is happening in your body so that you can rectify it on time. I think this is the beauty of this profession.
That is exactly a part of this profession, because it's no more your choice to be fit. You have to be fit. But the benefit of being a pilot is to have that immense pleasure and the satisfaction of being at 35,000 feet and having the feel of being airborne. It's a different feel. I'm sure you can understand what, even after having flown more than 3 decades, it still gives me a sense of achievement even every time I get airborne today. And that's one thing which I'll probably miss when I retire. And that is why I continue to fly and continue to fly till I can fly.
Yes,
So that's one thing which I even tell the youngsters,
Yeah.
is to keep that motivation on, to
absolutely
keep you going up to your retirement, or else you'll run out of
fuel.
fuel.
Captain, you have 32 plus years of experience as a pilot and 12,000 hours of experience. Any unforgettable moment in the cockpit?
That's a very nice question. I had more than a few unforgettable and quite challenging moments. Every fleet I've flown, but I remember very clearly this incident which had happened to me, because it was, I would say, it was a, a full gathering of, like a Murphy's law. If something has to go wrong, it'll go wrong. And it was like Murphy's law is playing its formula right on me, because everything was going against me. So back in the day, we used to operate internationally, and I was just flying over to Shanghai that time. And I still remember it was something which my captain had said, कि जहाँ कोई नहीं जाता हम जाते हैं.
अच्छा.
क्या? So I said, and Captain had an aura. Captain was a person with an aura, with a lot of responsibility and experience on his shoulder. As co-pilots, that time I was a co-pilot, we used to look up to him like probably he was the only God.
Yeah.
So I don't know if God could come and save me or not, but Captain would definitely come and save
Okay.
me. And we went, and of course we entered this weather, and there was an anticipated weather situation there, where cyclone was expected. By the time we reached, the cyclone hit the area. And I still remember, and my ND, that's the nav display screen, was all red. And being a first officer, I would dare not ask him a question because he could fly that airplane. So there is where I saw the first time what teamwork meant and what I was a part of team. And back in the day, it was only the captain who makes decision, but this captain was really a great, crew resource management follower. And he looks at me and says, Anil, do you think we should divert? I was like, absolutely, sir. We got, marvelous winds.
Yeah.
We got weather radar red, and we are the only person since morning who's come to land. And he said, okay, let's go. Where do you want to go? There's a remote place called Nanjing in China. I know where it is. And we said, okay, let's divert. I asked Shanghai Control, said, look like to divert. Very, very happy to say, okay, turn right, climb so-and-so and direct so-and-so. And there in China, The things are a little different because they speak Chinese to their own traffic. So your situation awareness is not great because
Yeah.
you don't speak
Accent
Chinese.
is, yeah.
So I don't understand what the other aircrafts are doing.
Yes.
Only he speaks to me in English, and the altitude were in metric. So you fly in meters. So he said, climb 6,000 meters. So we turned right, climbing 6,000. I took my calculator, 6,000 into 3.3, and I'm putting it on my FCU, and we're climbing it up. But close to 10,000 feet, there comes a caution, tongue, something like that. And see, and there's weather around. Everything is happening. Everything is happening very simultaneously. We're diverting. There's weather around, and then this happens. It's green hydraulic reservoir, low level.
Okay.
And Captain looks at me, and I say, "Oh, I hope this is a spurious warning." He says, "No." So it's ECAM actions. So we have something called as ECAM, and basically a system which is giving a warning and tells you what to do in layman language. So I did that actions, and we were turning, we were still climbing, and then another tongue comes, caution message says, thrust control computer, that is my auto throttle gone. Then comes flight control computer is gone. Then pitch trim 1, yaw damper 2, everything is gone. So I don't know whether we hit some lightning there, we hit some, I don't know what happened, but we lost a lot of automation, a lot of computers, and then we were flying. And I still remember, and now I am also, my anxiety is building because no, this is real, this is not simulator. And my captain was very experienced captain, and he was actually my trainer as well. And he says, "Anil, you fly the airplane, I'll do this." So we did that, and we got the cabin crew inside, and she was scared and asking us what happened. Just, don't mind, just get me a cup of coffee. So I saw how calm and chilled captain was. I learned a lot from him. I still have after that I did 2 more turnbacks with him. We reached Nanjing, and he does not understand what we're saying. So then we are trying to make him understand that he's saying, "Are you declaring emergency?" No, it's not an emergency, because the landing gear doesn't come down, so it doesn't go up if it comes down. So the landing gear had a different alternate extension rod. So you had to put it there. Only first officer can, and he had to rotate it for about 17 times. So only the main gear came, the nose gear didn't come, so you had to go down, and there were a lot of procedures involved in it. So we were trying to explain it to him, saying that we are not emergency, but if I land, if I take my gear down, I will not be able to go around. So I have a committed landing. So I had to tell him, I said, "Sir, I'll tell him." So I had to tell him in plain, simple English saying, "Landing gear down, no go up." So he said, "Oh, Roger, clear to land." Okay. So we landed there, we got stuck 3 days, we tried to again revive the aircraft, get it back and all. Same problem happened, and then later on, I still have that, the captain. In those days, there was no ceremony, there was no, social media thing or something. Right. He just gave me on a piece of paper that actually he wrote it to my father. Saying, later on he came to know who I was. So he wrote to my father saying that, "Hey, Captain, I flew with your son, and he's one of the best first officers, and he'll prove to be a very good captain." I still have it. It's been more than 20 years. And these are my citations. I don't need any certificates. So I keep them, very nicely framed. And these are the ones which encourage me to become a better pilot and, of course, a better trainer. As I saw such a calm, such a senior captain, a trainer, and he was so calm that I felt so. Right. And that is what I decided, that I will also be something like that. So I take inspiration from such people. So this was one of my memorable events or incidents, I would say, that happened, which I learned a lot from. Right. Nothing was unturned, nothing was left behind to give me, put me in a situation like that. But it was a very good learning experience.
Absolutely, Captain. And I think that letter, I think getting letters from your mentors, those who, and I mean, when you really keep someone at this level, that and getting a letter from such mentors or such trainers, I think that's becomes very emotional.
Yes,
And
it's very nice, and I keep them. This reminds me that I need to be grounded.
yeah,
So whichever level you reach, in fact, all those letters, those cards, those inspiring and encouraging cards which my friends came during my
yeah,
struggling days, I just keep it aside,
absolutely,
because I still keep it with me, because these are the ones which remind you where you
yeah,
belong to and where you
absolutely,
are today. So it
absolutely,
gives you a lot of respect
absolutely.
and these are the experiences which I've
These are
gone through.
very, very priceless moments and very emotional moments when you get a written appreciations from your own mentors, mentors. I mean, you like or respect them from your own bottom of your heart. So you have trained so many pilots so far in airlines and in the flying club as well. Any story of any of your training pilot do you remember, or it has touched your heart?
Actually, well, having said that, every trainee has actually taught me a lot.
Hmm.
In fact, I rather learn from them than actually teach them. Other than flying as such, there were two of my trainees when I was myself struggling, and back in the day, I was a flight instructor in a flying school to keep my license current, because getting job back then was not as easy as it would have been. So there were these two trainees of mine, and uh, I thought I was going through bad time. And then these two trainee boys, one boy came and told me, "Sir, I'll have to leave flying." And every time anybody said that, I feel very bad, uh, because it is something he wants to do and is forced not to do it. Something he wanted to pursue because of maybe family things or personal, situations which led to him to drop flying. So I asked him what happened. So he said it's not that he was not well to do. He had money, and his father had expired, and he had to take care of his father's business. So he said, I cannot pursue because I have to take care of my father's business. So I said, I'm so sorry that I don't know if I could help you in any manner. Not that I could have helped him. I myself was in a struggling phase of my life. So he left, and he said, "Sir, I will see if I can, pursue." I said, "I will be really happy," because he was a great flyer. Not, I mean, I should not say great, but he was a good flyer, and he was a good trainee who was. I used to like him a lot, and all these in that same circle, in the same group, there was another boy who came to me, and he also said that I want to, I have to leave flying. I said, "Why? What happened?" He said, "I don't have the funds." So, I mean, his mother had, arranged from somewhere, and he could not arrange it more because he was hoping for some funds to come through, but he couldn't. And I said, what are your plans? What are you going to do?" He said, "No, probably I'll do graduation or something like that and join a normal regular job." I said, how passionate about your flying? How much do you think flying is important to you? He said, "It's very important to me. I want to, become a pilot." I felt bad again. I could not do much about them. And of course, then we lost touch. And later on, I also got into an airline, and I met them
Both of
as
them?
pilots.
Both of them?
Yes. And today, both of them are senior commanders in leading airlines today.
Okay.
And I was so happy for them that it taught me resilience much better than what in fact,
Absolutely.
more lesson than I would teach other
Right.
people about resilience.
Right.
They taught me what actual
Right.
resilience is. One had the opportunity of pursuing his career. He dropped it because of his own issues. Other could not. I feel I'm lucky. That way I don't have such, I just have the situation which I have to cover it, and I did cover it, and finally I found myself where I wanted to be, and I saw these two boys doing so well, and I'm so happy. So this is also a lesson I learned from my own trainees.
Absolutely.
So that's
And
one
I
of
must say, Captain, as we train a lot of pilots, In fact, I learn a lot from these trainees, these aspiring pilots, and some of them have really impressed me a lot at the age of 17 and 18 years. They've got so much of clarity, their thought process is very much clear. So, in fact, I also learn a lot from these trainee pilots. Yeah.
There is, in fact, every time I train uh, a trainee,
Yeah.
not even a trainee, any pilot in the simulator or other, which was in an airplane, I learn a lot from his way of not only flying, behavior, life, anything. It's always not that we are imparting training. They also impart training to us in a different manner. And in fact, I have many a times these small, these youngsters who come, trainee pilots, with they teach me a lot of things which I did not know even existed. So it gives a very good exchange of knowledge. It's just not that I am always trainer and the other pilot is training. We should also consider changing seats sometimes. They teach you a lot.
Right.
So, but it's nice. It's nice.
Captain, you are a senior designated examiner. What are the responsibilities of a designated examiner?
Uh, Basically, a designated examiner is a designate of the DGCA to carry proficiency and safety checks, basically proficiency checks of pilots of a given airline. But he is a employee of a given operator. So what happens is these proficiency checks which we do, like the PPCIR, which we call, which do on a regular basis of 6 monthly, supposed to be done by a DGC examiner. Since they don't have as many examiners, so they call in from the operator to give their list of designated experienced pilots and trainers who can be designated examiners on behalf of DGCA, will do conduct the checks here. So when I act as a role of a DE on the Airbus 320, I am responsible towards DGCA's mandates and their parameters set by them, their protocols. So I am responsible for them and not the
Right.
operator. So there is a shift of role when I do a DE's role. So now my allegiance is basically lies with DGCA and not the operator. So there's a change of role which I have to play. It's like,
Right.
you have to
Right.
change your face.
Correct.
But when I'm flying, other which wise, I am operator's responsibility. I am responsible for the operator. So that's the basic concept of having a. So that's the reason why they changed the word. Earlier used to be examiner only. They used to call it as a TRE, type rated examiner. Now they changed it as saying a designated examiner. So he's a designate of the DGCA. So I'll be responsible to reporting to DGCA if I do any kind of an error.
Right.
So that's what it is.
So, can I say the level of responsibilities have grown a much?
Yes, of course, because now the onus is directly on you.
Yeah.
And not anybody else,
Yeah.
not the operator, not any other policy or regulation. You are directly reporting to the DGCA about the proficiency and safety standards of the given pilots, irrespective of whom they fly for. So there is a great challenge where you have to keep the utmost standards of proficiency and safety. So though it is a challenging thing, but that's why DGC chose me.
Thanks, Captain, for this. Captain, how do you evaluate a trainee pilot?
That's a very valid question. I like to say. To be a good trainee pilot, you have to be a good pilot first. And a good pilot is always learning. Whether he's a trainee or a trainer by myself. Even today I have to learn, because learning is an evaluation and learning is continuous. So what I see in a training session or any check or anything like that is openness to learn. Every session, every training session you take something back home from that training session, it still is a bonus to you. And that's what you're learning. So every time you come into the cockpit, you go back home, you take something with you. Exactly in a training session. Till the time he's accepting, he's open to accepting the I would not say fault, to accept the feedback given by a trainer is what I look for, and that only makes a great pilot. So we all make mistakes. Even when I fly, I do make mistakes, and my trainer gives me a feedback, and I'm open to it, and that's what makes
Right.
any pilot a better pilot. So that's
Right.
what I look at any
Absolutely,
training
Captain.
pilot.
Very good thought. And in fact, I've learned from one of my mentor, and I also believe in LLL, lifelong learner.
Correct.
So you have to continuously evolve, and every day, if you can make a habit to learn even a smallest of the thing, I think your growth will be exponential. Yeah.
Absolutely.
Captain, you are a General Secretary of ALPA, Airline Pilot Association. What is ALPA, and what does it offers, and what are the roles and responsibilities of ALPA? Can you briefly explain?
Uh, in a line, I'll tell you what ALPA means: Airline Pilot Association of India,
Hmm.
and our main objective is aviation safety.
Hmm.
We are an aviation safety organization and a pilot welfare association, and we are not a union.
Hmm.
So we basically and we have programs. We do courses and training to enhance aviation safety.
Hmm.
At the same time, we are here to protect pilots, our members, in case of any time they get grounded and they lose their emoluments or ability to earn.
Hmm.
I'll get to that in a detailed manner. So, ALPA India, we are member associates of a parent organization which is called the International Federation of Airline Pilot Association in Canada, based in Montreal, which has 100 plus countries like us and their ALPA members. We are the only pilot association of India representing Indian pilots globally. So, having said that, if ALPA has got at least more than 150,000 pilots from 100 countries. So we report, rather we do a lot of our policies are based on the recommendations given by them, if ALPA which holds an observer seat in ICAO as well. So we follow certain protocols. We have done international meetings in enhancing safety, air crash investigations, a lot of air traffic control issues. We have gone for meetings across the world in representing India and in Indian issues as well. So that's what our main aim, basically objective is. The second is what we do for pilot welfare. We basically we understand that a pilot is earning only till the time
And they're flying.
his wings are flocking. So the day he is on ground, he loses his ability to earn. So what we are all pilots come together. We contribute to the grounded pilot to at least give him the financial assistance in keeping his at least his house running till the time he comes back again for flying. Okay, maybe he's medically grounded. He can be grounded due to accident. He can be grounded due to any other reason which is non-medical reason as well. But sometimes what happens, a pilot does not come back from medical grounding. Probably he has something which many times you must have seen also. He's permanently medical grounded. That time we give them or his family a lump sum money. We also cover death as well. And we are not insurance. We are benevolence. We collect from ourselves. We have a
Mm.
corpus, and from that corpus, we support the families. Unlike insurance agencies, which have a lot of loopholes and between the
Mm.
lines and all, where there are reasons how not to give you money,
Mm.
we find reasons to give money
Mm.
to a grounded pilot or his family. So we have covered many, and we are also covering a lot of pilots who are grounded right now. And we have about more than 1,000 members and growing as well now. And we are hoping that we are going to increase these covers as our membership increases and as the corpus increases. The best part is the money is members only.
Mm.
It's not
Right.
given to an insurance company. The money, whatever is there in the corpus, is given back to the members only when they need it. So that's what one thing which we do is quite appreciated amongst pilots community, and a lot of members are coming in. So we are hoping for more now. So that's what is Alpha.
I think it's a great mental support as well, Captain. Giving a financial support in a difficult time, I think it supports us. Mentally also. I mean, pilot get a lot of support out of it. So I think it's a very good initiative by ALPA. Captain, is this ALPA? Does it give any kind of benefit to aspiring pilots and student pilots?
Of course, we have certain programs for them. I like to tell you actually how the history of ALPA begins. ALPA was only for airline pilots. But over the period of time, what has happened was a benefit or any kind of assistance, be it financial or legal or any kind of a peer support. Why would that be only for airline pilots? Why can't be it given to any pilot? A pilot is a pilot. What is so different? So then things changed. We revisited our policy in coordination and support of our parent organization. We opened this for any pilot who holds a license, and any pilot, whether he is a fixed wing pilot or a rotary pilot, flying in India, flying abroad, flying in a flying school, whoever holds a license and earns his living through his license, it can be foreign license. Only thing, he has to be an Indian citizen. He will be eligible for this scheme or this program, benevolent program, and a membership. So we got everybody now. So we have pilots from every stream. We got pilots from not only airlines, we got pilots from corporate sectors, helicopters, everybody. While we did develop this kind of a program, we used to get these random calls. Anybody would call and say, I want to become a pilot. My son wants to become a pilot. Please help me. There are a lot of people who mislead people. Students who wants to become pilot, because flying is still not a very common professional choice which is to be made. There are very few options for them to go and have, and it is not very openly available. So we said, okay, let's do something about it. Let's work towards having student pilots also a part of our program.
Yeah.
So we opened up membership procedure for them, and we have collaboration with few flying institutes, one being yourself, one Golden Applets, and so whoever comes to us inquiry, we give them a platform. You can go here, and then we give them a membership at a very, very nominal rate, which is very nominal, just to avail all the facilities which we give, other than giving the benefit of benevolence, because that is only people or flyers who are employed. Since they are unemployed, we have opened up a membership called unemployed CPL holders or unemployed pilots. So they can take a membership under that. What do they get in return in that is, of course, we'll tell them, okay, there's an institute. These are institutes which are in collaboration with us, which they have passed our audit checks, which we do, and with your institute as well. And then we shortlist these institutes, and then we send to them. Other than that, give them mentoring, when they come up for airline preparation, airline flying, legal assistance. We have also taken up their issues. A lot of student pilots and parents have come to us and asked for assistance like high training cost. We have taken up these issues with the MOCA and DGCA as well, that why is only a certain section of people only can become pilots or their kids, because to become a pilot you need a lot of money now.
Right.
So why is that a person who has or doesn't have that kind of a corpus cannot become a pilot? I mean, right to education does not doesn't fit in there. If a poor guy or a person who cannot afford crores of donation getting into engineering or MBBS or medicine, he still has a brain. I mean, a person who is good at his work can pass exams and do a free education. We are asking, why is that not there for pilots? There is no kind of a platform for that. So we have taken this up issue with DGCA, with MOCA. It has been taken up, and we have also taken up the high training bonds when a pilot joins these operators, airlines, any airline, corporates, anywhere. So they charge them very heavy training bonds and training costs. So pilot, before he starts itself, is burdened because of his heavy loading on him, on his parents, or himself. It's a financial loading which discourages people to come into
Absolutely.
flying.
Absolutely.
So our aim is to encourage people to come into flying, because it is a career option should be given to every person who wants to become something. If tomorrow morning they increase engineering cost or fees, will that be justifiable to the government, saying that no, you cannot become an engineer because you cannot afford the fees? There are government flying, there are government institutes where you do. IIT is there, IIM is there, AIMS is there. There are institutes where you, if you have the caliber, you can study there. So we are asking, why don't we have that? Earlier, back in the day, there were government flying schools where we used to get scholarships. Now the scholarships are not there. So why don't we introduce that? We have to encourage. So that's what we are doing for the coming generation. I hope we get a respite on that and some breakthrough in that. That's what we are doing right now for all the student pilots. And what happens when they join our organization ALPA in the beginning? He doesn't have to go through anywhere. I mean, he doesn't have to go looking for information. The information is given to them from the beginning about the market, about the aviation sector, about mentoring, about planning, how to do, with in collaboration with institutes like yours and other FTOs, which makes them a better planner. He doesn't have to go looking for
Right.
information. So
Right.
that's what we are doing right now for the student pilots.
I mean, thank you so much for bringing this up, because Captain, we meet a lot of aspiring pilots, and they're very skilled, capable, but due to finances, they really struggle a lot. And in fact, it hurts me a lot many times that everybody, have the right to dream, and when they are unable, or their their path becomes so difficult just because of finances, it really hurts me a lot as well. And I think it's time to create a safer skies. It's time to have a common mission that I think the sky should be more safer, and it can become safer only when we have a better pilots,
Exactly.
better professional pilots. And better pilots can come only when we choose skilled, capable, those who have a good attitude. And I think we should not choose them, or based on other parameters. I think we can get a lot of good pilots from those communities who, for them, it's very difficult to
Exactly.
afford this training.
Exactly.
So we'll definitely get good pilots from them as well, and can have a better skies.
I also hoping for the same, and that is
Yeah.
what our motive and our aim is to, get the government to realize that, and to come up with such kind of a scheme where all sections of the country are given a fair chance to become a
Absolutely.
pilot. That's
Yeah.
what.
Captain, any incident during a flight which you have experienced in which you have to take a very quick decision?
Well, over so many years of flying, I have experienced quite many where I had to take a decision uh, uh, during that kind of exigency. I'll not call it emergency, but a decision was has been taken. But one incident very clearly I remember was uh, my mother had passed away, and I had taken emergency leave, and so I came back for flying after doing all the required rituals, and this was my first flight, and I wanted to come back to flying because that's the only way I can get back into my daily routines. And so when I was flying, I was just thinking, God has been great. Even though he took away my mother, he was great in giving where I am today. So you get little spiritual some certain times when certain things happen in your personal life. And we were flying, and suddenly the SEC, the senior cabin crew, calls me and tells me there is an infant who's probably not feeling well. So I said, "What happened?" And she said, "The mother is not telling us," or something
Mm.
like that. Was not very clear in her instruction as to what happened. So, as a normal, as a normal routine, what we do it is we ask for any doctor on board or give her a first aid or something like that. So they tried. A doctor came, and they paged for a doctor, and doctor came and checked the infant. Infant was hardly, I don't know, maybe less than 6 months or something like that. And she called me and said the doctor has said we need to take her the infant to a hospital immediately. And I said, okay, there can be, what does immediate mean? We have some time. What does immediate mean? Can I go to the next, can I continue to the destination? Do you want me to go back again to my departure? And so I said, just put the doctor on intercom. So he came on intercom, and he told me that I asked him what is the situation. He says the situation is very bad. We have to divert right away wherever we can.
Mm.
So I was right over Nagpur, and now descent was a challenge because I don't have that kind of horizontal distance to descend. My first officer was very good, prompt, and very proficient in his work. I asked him contact Nagpur, tell him that we are going to descend. We have an emergency, medical emergency. And what I learned here was a total teamwork. It was something like a symphony.
Mm.
A decision has been made. Every party is doing his job diligently to save one person. And this teamwork is what actually made all the difference. It was not me as a captain. But when I did that, and we descended, we managed that descent, we came in because time was the constraint. It's not that I'm going to take nice 25 nautical miles, intercept and come for an ILS. I just said, just give me the shortest vectors. And the cabin crew was doing its job. They were handling the emergency, giving the child the first aid, consoling the parents, giving assistance to the doctor, and all this happened in just minutes. Cruising from 35,000 feet, we were there in, I don't know, maybe less than 20 minutes. And even less than 20 minutes, I guess. I still remember when we were intercepting the ILS, the ATC said it's one of the most
Fastest descent.
fastest descent and well coordinated descent you have done. And I said, actually, all the support, all the appreciation goes to you, because you were the one who gave me the descent so quickly, and they were on the ball, and they were like, yes, you take whatever heading you want, just descend down. I descended. Now the ground crew comes into the picture here. You see how the teamwork, it's a teamwork. It's not a single work. And by the time we came in. There was ambulance waiting there right away. We parked right in front of the gate, which opens directly into the into the city, so they don't have to go through the arrival and all that. So our manager was there, the ground commercial manager was there. There was ambulance there were paramedics, everybody there, and the doctor on board also was there to assist. And they were in no time, and everything was coordinated. The hospitals were informed, and that was the best coordination ever, team coordination ever seen under my command. And that was, I appreciated everybody. I wrote to my upper management also regarding appreciating them. And these kind of appreciation gives them the essence or the inspiration to do such kind of unwarranted services, these are called. So I felt quite proud of not only myself, I felt proud of my whole unit, be it the ground unit or my team on board. And I appreciated them a lot, and I was really touched. Then we again took off, and the best part was not only that. The best part, I made an announcement to the passengers and told them that this is what the situation is. Please, cooperate with us. And they were so happy. They were so nice. They cooperated, and I told them, please give me some time. I'll take you back where your destination is. That is my responsibility. And the passengers were like, when we got, and I announced that the baby is secure, safe,
Yeah.
in proper hands, and they all
Yeah.
clapped, and
Yeah.
it was a very touchy
Absolutely.
situation there.
Absolutely.
And I still don't forget that, one of my
Absolutely.
best
Absolutely.
flights which I had.
In fact, Captain, a lot of people say being a doctor is such a noble profession. I would say being a pilot of flying is also a very noble profession. And now we have to understand the criticality of this job. Many of the time we have to be calm under pressure, under stress. We have to take quick decision making, and I think there's a lot more we need to incorporate into our DNA system to be a good pilots.
So, like to add on that, not undermining any other profession as
Yeah.
such, but one thing which is very different from others who also save lives, they're doctors, firefighters, and, emergency response, personals, they're everybody. The only difference between them and us is we are in air, they're on ground. I don't have the benefit or the entitlement of stopping the aircraft or going somewhere. So we are limited in our options. So that makes us much different than any other person who is also responsible for lives. So that part I would like to emphasize here when we try to put across our point, saying that saving lives is also our job, of course, but with very limited options. we have.
Absolutely,
So
absolutely. Yeah. So basically, you have to take the right decision in a very short span of time. That's what the quality you need to be a good pilot. Captain, you got job 7.5 years after your CVL. Must be a tough time. What did you do during that time?
Well, I'll not say I got a job. I had a job, but I got an airline job, which I was looking for, hoping for, and of course, whatever I did till then was to survive, to live. So Looking back, the 7.5 years or 7 years plus, which I was struggling, unemployed after CPL, looks like a very long time. I don't even know how I spent those 7 years, but every day was a inspiration for the next
Mm.
day. So motivation to go on to the next day. So I spent every day knowing that I will one day end this struggle and be there where I want to be, where I want to achieve what I want to achieve. So there are a lot of things I did. My parents, my relatives, my friends gave me options of doing something else. I have sold phones. I have sold bank loans. I worked in a software firm, doing storyboard writing for minimal amount, and of course it was not my cup of tea. I was a very bad marketing executive. I just sold one cell phone in a month, and my manager just said, "Thank you, good day." I said, "I'm so sorry, sir. I don't know. I don't know. This is not my job." So I felt, of course, there were ups and downs of my emotions. Getting frustrated was normal, and blaming the system, even God was just part of your daily routine. And but I learned one thing from there. Like they say, when there is no room at the bottom, there is always room on the top.
Right.
So I I decided to enhance my knowledge. This much knowledge was not enough, so I started studying. And of course, because flying was my passion, and also to earn little money, whatever I could, I used to get very nominal money as, or sometimes no money, as a flight instructor. That would keep my hours experience also going up, and also will keep my license current. At least I don't have to spend money on, giving license checks. So that I kept as going, because that's the only thing I know. Nothing else was working for me. Rather, my parents were saying, do engineering again. So that would have been, even disastrous. So I kept studying. And the more the failure I would face, the more I would study more. I don't know who gave me that kind of uh, the appetite to study, that I would just pick up any book and start studying on aviation, because it is knowledge. And in those days, I had cleared my ATP. In those days, there was no ATP. There was something called as a senior commercial pilot license, which is a frozen ATP kind. So I cleared that exam. I cleared, in those days you could write these exams of all the aircraft which are less than 5,700 kgs, like C-90, B-200, Cessna 406, Piper, Aztec, or whatever you call it. Every exam I used to write and keep them ready, so that if somebody calls me, okay, and says, "Oh, have you cleared this exam?" I have that exam. And of course, the struggling parts were there. I have sold Amway in Bombay products.
Yeah.
I remember a very funny incident back in the day. I was in Mumbai. My sister used to work there. I was staying there, because you have to be in a place where you can get job, right? So I used to apply everywhere.
Mm.
Every place. So there was a book from English bookstore I had bought, which had all the addresses and contact details of people who own planes. I used to just write to them, give me job in any position. I will fly, I'll work for you. So I got this job reply from a helicopter company. We will not be able to employ you as per your licenses or qualification, but we can provide you for an alternate job or something like that. I said, wow, I will do probably a dispatcher job or operations assistant or something like that. So I took my scooter and I went there, and I wore a tie and all that. So I went nicely for an interview. he offered me, very funny to say, he offered me a supervisor's job for his pilots who stay in the service apartment to pick them up and drop them and take care of them.
Shit.
So I was like, he says, because you're a pilot, you understand their needs and all. So if you can, supervise them, take care of the hostel basically, or the service apartment. So I did that also I sold tickets. I was a manager in a cinema theater.
Yeah.
So I did all, whatever you call it, to survive. But
Right.
till I got
Yeah.
this thing. And this was like a breakthrough for me, getting into an airline. And I don't know how I spent, but everything used to be a motivation to move on to the next day. Back in the day, there was no Times of India where I was living. So one of my friend's father was an IS officer. He used to get Times of India from Mumbai. And there was this Ascent, uh, additional, supplement in that newspaper, Ascent, where you get these job vacancies. So I used to go every week to his house and sit there and see if I can probably get a job. There is a job opening somewhere. I have given interviews in Vizag Steel, Vizag Steel. So there have been struggling days, and of course it's past, gone now. And but I still remember those days, so that it keeps me grounded. That life can turn you anytime, and you can go back to that stage. So, but that's experience. Probably when I am retired old, I'll tell all these stories to my grandchildren.
Absolutely. I think it's a very inspiring story, Captain. And thank you for sharing your story. Captain, any message or advice to the aspiring pilot?
I would. I don't know how things now are. Uh, Maybe flying is now a career option, but for me, it was not a career option. It was only one option. But of course, the career is for everybody who wants to take up flying as their profession. But one thing I will tell you, what differs this profession from any other profession is there is no shortcuts. So, having said that, I mean, like in school and colleges, we have these guides, the short note guides which you get outside in the in the bookstore. We used to call it in Hindi, called as kunji, which you would go before the exam, read, and you'll have the set answers there. Of course, now you've got chat GPTs, but we used to get these books, where you don't have to read the whole textbook. You would
Correct,
probably just
kunjis.
go important points and read the important question and just go and write. The kunji doesn't exist in aviation. There is no kunji. There is no guide.
Right.
You have to read it. You have to understand, and you have to inculcate that part of your discipline. And that is how knowledge is gained. I myself have been a person like that when I was in school, a proper guide guy. I would shortcuts. We have all done that.
Yes.
But I've realized there is no shortcut in aviation,
Right.
because what you learn on the first day, you'll probably require it on the last day of your working as a professional pilot. You cannot forget how an airplane flies at 65 when you're done for 40 plus years of flying. You cannot just say, "Oh, I forgot how an airplane flies because I did this 40 years back." You still have to have your basics there. A good foundation is one which will make you a better thinking pilot when you become a profession, is what I want to tell the aspiring pilots. That you should have discipline and total dedication towards what you're doing. Anything less than that is only jeopardizing you as a future pilot. It's because competition will be tough, and quality of pilots will always be high, because they are the last line of defense for safety. So compromise will not, standards will not be compromised. So you will have to have that kind of standards. 70% is pass mark for us. For what reason? Where anybody else in any other college or education is 35, 40. Why is it 70 for us? Even not even 70. In leading airlines, it's 90. Because what is that 30 you're missing? That means that 30 can be the actual cause of any kind of a disaster tomorrow. So we have to always aim for 100. And that is what, 100 means knowledge wise, I'm talking about, not marks wise. So what I'm saying is knowledge is your foundation for becoming a good pilot tomorrow. And learning is what you always have to have in your mind. That I would like to tell the aspiring pilots
Yeah.
today.
It's a great message. There is no kunji in this aviation world. You have to study, you have to have a good knowledge and have a strong foundation to be a better pilot. So, Captain, what did you feel after coming to Golden Rapids Aviation?
Of course, I had, truly speaking, I had my own innovations, about institutions, a lot of institutions happening. But when I saw here, I found, my footing here very well. And I went back in my flying school days, where I would have loved to be a part of such institute where there are so many kids, of similar age, similar aim, objective, and it's a very well organized, an institute here where infrastructure is well designed, courses are well, programmed, and I like the syllabus, how you have been training your students here. And I don't see any hosh posh or any kind of kunji, what I say. I don't see any kunji here. I see, where I've seen here is uh, exchange of knowledge, which you have told me that you conduct group discussion, where you and Captain Tomar is also, giving a lot of your expertise in this matter, and guiding these, youngsters to a good standard, so
Right.
that tomorrow wherever they go, they reflect a high standard of education, I would say that. And I'm very, very honored by the fact that Captain Tomar, which he has published his own book, and is presented to me. I'm really honored. I will go back and study that, because I need to get back to my basics. And that book is one book which actually gives A to Z of
Absolutely.
a pilot. Reads that, at least he
Absolutely.
will know
Absolutely.
that these things exist, which is there in the book.
Absolutely.
He doesn't have to go look around for knowledge
Absolutely.
and information back in the day, which we used to do.
Absolutely.
So it was absolutely an amazing. I actually spent more than half a day today here,
Right.
and meeting the students always inspires me. If I can give them some kind of information, my experience makes them a better pilot. Why not? I'm always here.
Captain, thank you so much for your gracious presence. And I can tell you, all the students are very, very so happy. They came to me after your session and they told me, can you arrange some more sessions with Captain? We are so, he was so nice and so humble. And once again, Captain, thank you so much for coming down here,
Pleasure is all
giving
mine.
your valuable time to us. And if you are also one of them who want to share your wisdom, your experiences to all the aspiring pilots, you can email us on fly@goldenrapids.com with mention the subject podcast, and you can email us to fly@goldenrapids.com. And I take a lot of webinars for the aspiring pilots, and I give a lot of aviation industry insights, and I give them a clarity whether is this the right field for them or not, and I help them choose which is a better way, a cadet pilot or a conventional CPL. And we talk about a lot more. I just kind of gauge the passion or the interest of aspiring pilots and help them in giving a clarity. And see you, and thank you once again to Captain Anil Rao.
Thank you very much for
Thank you,
having
Captain.
me on your podcast.
Thank you.
It's a pleasure.
Thank you,
An honor.
Captain.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Captain.